Christy here from the Stamp Cycle, and welcome to another video from my YouTube channel and blog. Today we're going to be making this adorable card using the new stamp set Hey Chick from the Sale-a-bration catalog and the new Hexagon Embossing Folder from the Hexagons catalog. I'm going to show you how to use that embossing folder to make this really cool chicken wire looking background that goes perfectly with all those cute little chicks in that stamp set there. The stamp set you can get free with a $50 qualifying order. That is through the Sale-a-bration promotion going on with Stampin' Up, which is a really fantastic time to get a lot of new products. So we're going to start with this embossing folder. The thing you'll notice about these dynamic embossing folders are they're very thick. They're different than the regular embossing folders, and that's because it gives a lot more depth and deeper embossing than just a regular folder. So I'm working on the side that pokes up is the best way to describe it. It is the side that has the Sizzix symbol there in the corner. So make sure that is the side that you're working on. And then you're just going to take a stamp pad. I'm going to be using archival jet black ink here, and I'm just lightly rubbing that across the top of this embossing folder. You don't want to rub too hard because you don't want that ink to get down into the wells of this embossing folder. You really just want it to sit right on the surface. Now, when you do this, you will get some ink on the sides, so just be sure that you take a baby wipe or a wet paper towel. I'm using my stamp chamois here, and I'm just cleaning off that extra ink that got on the sides, because when you run your cardstock through the Big Shot with this embossing folder, you don't want any of that ink to get on the sides of your paper. So once you have the very edges of that embossing folder inked up, you'll then carefully place your paper onto this embossing folder, and you want to make sure that once you set it down on the embossing folder, you do not move it, because any movement will move that ink around and you won't get that chicken wire look that we're going for. It's going to be really adorable with our chickens. So you just carefully fold your embossing folder, run it through your Big Shot, and voila, look at how cute that is. You get a really neat chicken wire pattern. So for this sample, I'm using the black ink. For the other sample I'll show you at the end, I used Cajun Craze ink. So you can use all different kinds of colors to give you different looks for your background. So now I've just got a piece of Whisper White cardstock here. I'm just stamping that cute little chicken there using, again, some of that archival basic black ink. And then we're going to use our blending pen to color in this chicken. So for this chicken, I'm going a little different here, and I'm using non-traditional chicken colors. For the other card I showed you there, I used some colors that you traditionally see in chickens, but you know, this is our card, this is our imagination. We can use any colors we want. So I'm making a pink chicken for this card. I wanted to create kind of a girly black and pink card, so I thought, what the heck, chickens don't have to all be brown and black, and they can be any color we want it to be. So I've just grabbed a piece of scrap typing paper there. I'm going to use that to clean my blender pen off between adding the color. So these blender pens are fantastic. I've had these same blender pens for probably 10 years, and I use them over and over and over. And all you do to clean the blender pen is you just wipe it off onto a scrap piece of paper. So what I usually do is just push the blender pen down onto my scrap piece of paper before I start using it, just to make sure that ink inside is flowing through the tip. And then I just smush my ink pad onto the lid, and that gets some ink on the top, and that's what I use for my palette to bring in that ink on the blender pen to color in my image. So now I just brought in some smoky slate. I'm going to color the wings and the face and the tail using that smoky slate ink. And then I'm going to bring in a Blushing Bride Stamping Right marker, and I'm just going to use that marker directly onto this to add some blush to the cheeks. And you can see me there just cleaning off my blender pen by swiping it back and forth. But first, I'm going to, before I add that blushing bride, I'm going to color in the feet and the beak just using some pumpkin pie, again using that blender pen. So now I will bring in that Stampin' Right marker and add a little bit of blush to the cheek. We want our chicken to be blushing. Chickens blush in real life, you know, they really do. So now I've got the stitch shaped framelits here, and I'm going to use the two largest dies. I'm going to use the smaller of the two to cut out the chicken, and then the larger one to cut out a piece of melon mambo, because that is the color of our chicken. I didn't know if I told you that, but we colored that chicken in mellow mambo. And so now what I'm doing is I've grabbed another scrap of paper that I'm just using to protect my my work surface, and I've just smushed some more of that black ink onto an acrylic pad, added quite a bit of water to get that ink moving, and I'm just going to flick it off the edge of my acrylic block. And this gives me some ink splatters all over that background. I think this really kind of tied in the whole look of the card by bringing in those ink splatters. So now I've just got a A2 top folding card base made out of melon mumbo. I've got a layer of basic black, and then I've got that chicken wire piece that we made, and I'm just going to adhere all those together with some tombow multi-purpose glue. I like to use this glue because it gives me a little bit of time to wiggle around my layers to make sure I get them perfectly even spaced. And so now we're just going to work on the sentiment. I'm going to use that Hey Chick sentiment from that same stamp set. I have a piece of basic black cardstock that I treated heavily with my embossing buddy. We're going to stamp this Hey Chick with some Versamark ink. And I'm going to apply some white embossing powder to this sentiment and then heat set that with my heat tool. So this is where I need to tell you that I had a boo-boo making this video. My camera ran out of space and I didn't realize that. So I was just going along here finishing my card and didn't realize that my video was not being filmed any longer. So I need to just kind of tell you how I finished up the card here really fast without you being able to see it, and I apologize for that. So I did cut down that Hey Chick sentiment after I heat set it. I then bannered one in, and I sandwiched that sentiment in between the chick cutout and the melon mumbo square that we cut out, and then I adhered those together using some 3M foam mounting tape to give some dimension, and then just adhered that to the front of my card with some Tombow multi-purpose glue. Now, I really just wanted to show you in this video how to make that really cool chicken wire background. So I apologize that you don't get to see me finish the rest of the card in this video, but you did get to see how to make that technique and to make that chicken wire background, which is what makes the card cool. So I don't think you're going to miss out on too much by not seeing me finish this card up. And here is a look at the final cards. We have that pink one and then the more traditional chicken color one using, that's Mossy Meadow, Cajun Craze, and I think that's all the colors I used for that one. And you can see how different they are, but I encourage you to use non-traditional colors for your animal images. They don't have to be what they truly are in nature. I think that pink chicken is adorable. And I encourage you to give this chicken wire technique a try using your embossing folders, and to also look at other techniques you can do using your embossing folders by applying ink before you run it through your Big Shot. So thank you guys for joining me today, and as usual, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks. Bye.